and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm coming back with the Schpirerr Farben pencils. As you probably saw on my last video, if you got to watch that, I'm just so excited about these pencils. And I just haven't been excited about art supplies in a very long time. The first time that I felt this excited was when I first tried the polychromos and luminance pencils. And now that I got these pencils, I'm just, so happy to be able to use this. Some of the reasons that I like these pencils so much is that the quality is just so good. And on top of that, they are super affordable. So I got these for $37. I got them when they came back to Amazon after a while, and I think that right now these pencils are on sale for $29 on Amazon. So go ahead and check them out on Amazon. And if you can get your hands on these, then you should definitely go ahead and do that, because they are totally worth your money. As I said on my last video, I'm not an artist. I don't draw. I just color. I just like coloring. So that's the purpose for my colored pencils. However, I do like to have quality products, and this is just perfect because I don't really have a lot of money to spend on art supplies, considering that I'm just a teacher and I don't earn a lot of money, but these are just amazing. They are totally worth your money, so I would go ahead and get these pencils. So anyways, without any further ado, we are going to go right into the color chart that I was just telling you about. So at the end of that part, I am going to just come back to you and let you know a couple of things about the pencils, whether all of the colors have the same texture, if they hit the paper the same, if they layer the same, if they have the same pigmentation and all of that. So I hope that you enjoy this video. Just enjoy the music, and let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm back here with my final thoughts on these pencils. And okay, so let's talk about some really good points. Let's talk about some neutral points, and of course some negatives that I have found. So the first one that I want to talk about is the fact that they actually come in order. However, I don't know if it's in all of the boxes or just mine, but the name of my channel is Newbie Artist, so I think you can tell what happened here. So when I started, I didn't really check if all of the pencils were in order. I mean, I just checked the first few of them, and then as I started, I realized that some of them were not in the correct order. So I actually messed up my chart, but that's okay. So anyway, the good thing is that they do come in order, and that's such a pet peeve for me, because sometimes they just come all in different order that doesn't really follow any order. And yeah, I don't like that. So having these pencils in the correct order as soon as you open the tin is awesome. So anyway, as you can see, the colors are very, very, very bright, and I love that. You do get a good selection of colors. When you first open the tin, and I mean, getting 72 pencils, it gives you the idea that maybe you're not going to have a good selection, but you do get a nice selection. And something that I really, really love is having some really nice reds, like a true red here. I love this red, so good. And having really nice pinks as well, and really nice purple colors. I love that. It's a really good selection. You have really nice colors on it, so I'm pretty happy. I have to say that I have changed the way I'm looking at these pencils, and I'm really happy now. So that's something good. Now let's talk about the texture and how they feel when you use them. So there are some colors that feel really, really, really creamy, pretty much similar to your Prismacolors if you really like them. But there are some others that they don't feel so creamy. Again, they don't feel scratchy exactly, but they are not creamy either. So they are kind of hard. They feel kind of waxy. I'm not sure how to describe it, but they are just not as creamy. For example, this color here, the 060, this one is so creamy, really, really creamy. But this one, the 300, is kind of and waxy. It's not as creamy, and it's a little bit more difficult to work with. I mean, it's really not that difficult, but you are going to notice a big difference between the two of them. So it's not really that consistent, but to be honest, if you have worked with different types of pencils, you are going to encounter that problem with, I think, oil-based pencils, because I have the same issue with my polychromos, because, for example, the skin tones, the reds, the greens, even the browns, they are very, very, very creamy. They are so nice to work with. But when you use pinks or this type of purples like this one, they are a totally different consistency. So I'm going to blame that on the pigments and not so much on the pencils, because that happens. So let's see. Okay, so another thing is that maybe you noticed some of the pencils do leave more residue than others. However, it's so easy to just get rid of that residue, so it's really not a big problem for me, but some of them do leave a little bit of residue. And the last thing that I'm going to say and mention about these pencils is that some of the pencils are really not true to the barrel here, so that might be a problem for you, because if you are used to just grabbing a pencil because of how it looks on the barrel, that's going to be a problem. I took this one because this is the best example. As you can see, just from the barrel, it looks like a skin tone, really nice skin tone, but when you actually used it, and this is the 140, this one, look, it's completely off. It's not even close, completely off to me. So this is a problem. It doesn't happen with all of them, just with some of them, but you know, this one was a clear example. So I do recommend that if you get these pencils, the first thing that you need to do is try to do your color chart like I did, because that's going to help you, one, recognize the textures of all of the pencils. So I know that if I take this one, I know it's going to be really creamy, and if I go to one of these purples here, for example, I know that the pencil is not going to be so creamy, so I'm going to approach it in a different way when I color with it. So you know, it's a good idea that you do a color chart like this one. So I think I'm going to leave it here this time, and I'm going to be leaving a link down below if you want to get these pencils. You know, if you're on a budget and you want really nice quality, I think that you should definitely go for these pencils. Honestly, they are so good. You know, even the bad things about it, like the lack of consistency, of textures, it's something that I think, you know, to be honest, I think that's something that you can get away with because of what I just mentioned. Like, the pigments are so different and they work differently. If you have worked with different media, then you know what I'm talking about. So it's really not that bad. The only bad thing, this is really bad, because sometimes you just pick a color and you know, you expect something to happen and then it's completely off. So maybe just a recommendation for the company, maybe for the next batch you should look into that and maybe try to change this color, because that can be confusing. And so that's it. I'm going to leave it here. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope it's better than the last one. And as I said, if you want me to color something else, or if you would like to, I don't know, maybe remake the video I made the first time, just let me know and I will gladly do it. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.